Hello again. Okay, it's the same day, and I'm going to do another beach scene. This time I'm going to orient it portrait instead of landscape. And we're going to see how that goes. So today I think we're still going to have the horizon and some rock and some ocean. So same basic thing. I think I want my horizon line to be about there. And let's put a rock coming maybe off to one side here. And then we're going to see the ocean maybe come in maybe like through here. Okay, yeah, we're going to erase this line. I don't know what I was thinking there. Oops, I shifted you guys. Okay. All right. Ocean line is doing this. Rock line is doing this. Is that gonna look okay? Does that look balanced? Maybe? Maybe we need another rock or something over here. I feel like I always do that, and that's okay. That's what I feel like feels balanced. So we're going to try it. All right, I'm going to try and do this painting a lot faster than I did the last one, because the last one was really long, and I don't know how long my videos are supposed to be. Maybe I'll get my daughter to help me figure that out. So we are going to get started. I am probably going to do the exact same thing and only use two brushes. I've got a number 12 and a number 3, and that's what I'm going to use to paint. And I have my same palette as last time with a mixture of different things. I will try and show it to you now. All the colors, kind of on a messy palette. All right, let's get started. We're gonna go ahead and put in this sky. I'm going to mix up slightly different colors this go round, but it's still going to be the same kind of bluish and browns. That's just what I'm feeling lately. So we're going to go ahead and come in here and do the sky. I did not pre-wet my sky this time. I'm just kind of coming in on a dry paper with wet pigment. I'm just going to kind of brush in the sky like so. I'm going to dry off my brush and kind of lift some of this color back up this direction and blend it upwards, because I want to try and make kind of a fun maybe clouds on the horizon look, but we'll do that in a minute. Okay, next let's do the rocks. We're going to put in a little bit of yellow ochre and a little bit of some of this brown here. Mix those two together with some water. Get a nice medium light brown color to block out our rock. So there is our rock formation there along the side. So our vantage point is like we are up on a cliff looking down towards the beach. So our eye line is above the horizon. At least that's what I'm envisioning in my brain. Does that make sense to you guys? Is that a good way to say it? I don't know. Okay, there's our rocks. Okay, now let's go ahead and put in the sand. I'm just gonna use some watered down yellow ochre. I feel like I might need to be making a clean spot on my palette here soon, because I'm finding it's getting more and more difficult to find a clean spot for some lighter colors. Maybe that's a sign that I need to clean my palette, but I kind of like having all the colors kind of just jumbled together. Helps me to mix as I see. So I'm stippling along the edge to kind of make where the water is rolling in over the sand. It doesn't come in a very straight line to me. So I'm just kind of stippling that in. All right, I'm gonna rinse my brush. And now let's go ahead and do the ocean. I like my ocean to be a little bit darker than my sky, and I want it where it gets closer to the horizon up here. I like to have that be darker. So I'm going to mix a couple of these colors together, and I'm going to just start painting in, starting at the horizon and going over this rock. This is going to be a much calmer, I think, water than my last painting that I just did, where there was a lot more surf and a lot more waves. This, I want it to be a little bit more calm. So we're going to stipple right along the edge here. I'm going to allow my blue and my yellow to start to kind of mix. Right here along the edge. That's going to be good, just fine, just like that. I'm going to come back in and add a little darker, fade that down again. Darker, let that fade down. We're going to leave a little bit of lines here and there. I am going to stipple along some of the lines. It is a calmer sea, but as you hit the sand, it's still kind of turbulent, right? As it gets right along that edge. Okay, we'll go with that for now. Okay, let's go ahead and start darkening up these rocks. So we're going to mix a little bit more of our brown, and I really want to be a little bit more jagged and a little stronger when it comes to defining the rock face. So I'm going to be a lot more bold with my brush strokes on some of these rocks. I will soften a few of them, but I'm going to try really hard to allow it to have some more jagged edges. Okay. I'm going to add some darker colors over to this one as well. Okay, let it alone, let it dry a little bit. Okay, let's see if we can go ahead and make that sky that I'm trying to envision, what that's going to look like with some clouds just like right along the horizon line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually outline the cloud with the blue, kind of stippling in like so, and then I'm going to work backwards from that blue in order to fade up into the sky, like so. That way the clouds look like they're down there on the horizon. Does that make sense? Does that look like what we want it to look like? Those are supposed to be clouds. Yep, we're gonna go with it. We're gonna say those are clouds for now, and if we need to adjust them later, we will. All right, let's darken up this ocean. Our ocean needs to get a little darker. So way back here, we are going to bring in a lot darker of a color. And we're going to come in with this darker color here and bring it just a little ways down. And then we're going to dry our brush and let it fade into the other colors that we already have going on within our painting. rinse, dry, stipple to blend. Okay, that's looking good. I'm sorry if I pushed that out of frame. I'm just realizing that may have been out of frame a little bit. Okay, let's come in here. I'm actually going to go ahead and switch to a smaller brush to start working on these rock formations a little bit more. So I'm going to use a little bit more concentrated pigment on my rocks. And we're just going to come through here. I'm trying to add texture that looks like it's crevices and different jagged portions of the rock. I want it to not feel like it's all just a flat plane, but that there are different layers to our rock formation. So rocks fascinate me, and I would love to get better at kind of painting them and really understanding how to get the texture that I see in my mind's eye and what I see out in nature, and really be able to convey that when I'm painting it. So we're going to keep working on it. But that's why I've been doing a lot more rocks. Also, is because I really want to get better at it. And the way you get better is to practice. So I'm bringing you guys along for the ride as I practice. I actually have been painting and doing things like this for a while. I teach at a local community center, and I just teach an intro to watercolor class. It's a lot of fun. I love my students. I also teach an art camp for the younger kids. Well, I say younger kids, older kids, younger teenagers, that age range. And it's a lot of fun. We do all kinds of painting and drawing and art, learning how to use different techniques and how to really draw what we see, or rather what we perceive that we see. I have a few private students as well. I really love art. It's really freeing. Opens up some creativity. All right. So, let's see. This is a good basic scene here. We're going to add a little bit more yellow ochre and texture. Yeah, that looks good. Then I think I want to add some darker blue. I feel like this doesn't quite look the way that I'm wanting it to look. So if I add darker blue kind of in this alcove, and maybe right along this edge here, will that give me more of the look that I'm going for? I need to kind of blend it out. More texture in there. I think that looks a little bit better. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. All right. I am not going to add birds in the sky this time, I don't think. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Do I want this to be a series? I'm kind of making them all the same size. Okay, you know what? We're going to go for it. We're just going to go ahead and put some birds in the sky too. And see how it looks. We're going to have them flying over here. A couple of birds. And we're going to sign our name. Okay, that concludes this one. Bye, until next time.